Welcome back to another CommuniCast. Today, episode 21, and it's gonna be the first CommuniCast in English about Challenger League, our European online fighting game league. And I'm your host, Sinjul, as usual. And today, I invited two very nice guests that also commentated in Challenger League Season 1. And who commentated Under Night with me, and Leah, who commentated Guilty Gear Xrd together with Jaska. So, hi guys.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Then I guess people already know me a bit. I'm the King of Fighters player, and you probably saw me commentating pretty much every single game last season. I casted Guilty Gear and KOF as well, mainly Under Night. And otherwise, well, you hear me all the time in CommuniCast and so on. But maybe people know you two a bit less. So let's hear a short introduction from you. And I would say, Leah, how about you? How about you start?
Okay, sure. Well, I am Leah. Most people that are watching right now might know me as a 2BCU Challenger League Season 1 commentator for Guilty Gear Xrd, and I also host the tournaments for that said game, along with Ant to my right on the screen. Yeah, what's my right? How can I point towards you on the stream? There we go.
Yeah.
And that's basically about it.
You also played Under Night.
I also competed. I also forgot to mention I competed in both Guilty Gear and Under Night and had horrible results in both. But hopefully that'll change next season. So looking forward to it.
As long as you had fun, it's fine. We're getting better.
True.
I can only say from when I started a different game, Online League, I went 4-12 in the first season, and then the second season for that game that I played, I went, 22-4? So, you can turn everything around. Just gotta believe in yourself. So, and how about you?
Great.
Who are you? What do you play?
Who am I? I am. Well, I've commentated in the Challenger League for Uniclear. I also filled in for Xrd one or two times. I competed in both those games as well. And again, Leo already stated we organize Guilty Gear tournaments together, so that's a thing. And yeah, I've been not playing fighting games for too long. I only started really getting into them earlier this year with kind of the start of the pandemic. So yeah, I'm still fairly new, but I'm trying to get there. And that's about it.
You're very active, commentating your own tournaments or organizing your own tournaments. You commentated Challenger League, and also, I'm not sure, did you also commentate the Corona Cancel Tour tournaments with me?
No. I only competed in one of them for Uniclear. I kind of got into that whole scene near the end before you announced the Challenger League.
I see. Yeah, we commentated so much together. I don't know which ones we actually commentated together. So many events we are doing here. So my brain can't save everything. So yeah. Anyway, because I also competed in KOF 98. So we pretty much all commentated and we all played in Challenger League Season 1. So how was your experience as a player and as a commentator? I mean, we also had a feedback questionnaire that we're going to talk about after I hear your opinions. What was your experience on both the sides of pretty much the tournament? Well, and you want to go first? Just look.
What'd you say?
You want to go first?
Yeah, sure, why not? I had a great time personally, both playing and commentating. Yeah, you know, you play on a weekly basis, or we played on a weekly basis, so you had to find the time to play with one person per week for, I don't know, what felt like 20 minutes to 30 minutes maybe. So it wasn't, it didn't take too much time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a fun little thing to do in between. Is what it felt like. Like it wasn't a big event that took up like someone's entire day or entire evening. It just kind of was sprinkled in there, and it fit nicely into everybody's schedule. I feel, both playing and commentating.
Yeah, well, with commentating, we were a bit less flexible, right? Because we always had a set day of the week, a set time.
We did have a set time, but it was always a very friendly, very forgiving time to kind of take an hour out of your day.
Yeah.
So I never felt like I was limited by commentating, I suppose.
Oh.
And it was always fun to commentate as well.
Yeah, also sometimes our matches were over so quickly, like we had both games done in less than an hour. So it really didn't take up too much time to commentate sometimes.
It was always scheduled as set 1 at 8 p.m. and set 2 at 9 p.m. and then we kind of got done at 9:30, 8:30. So that was weird.
Yeah,
I might have gotten the times mixed up there, but you know what I'm about.
Yeah, we started at 7 p.m. So you are one hour late.
7 and 8 p.m.
Yeah. Sometimes
I was talking in Eastern times. I was talking to Leah. It's fine.
So yeah, how about you, Leah? How was it for you? You also enjoyed the tournament. You enjoyed casting.
Yeah, I actually agree with a lot of Anne's points here. Really, especially about the format. Again, very unintrusive. Nicely fit in with my schedule, really. Even though close to the end of the season, I kind of got very messy because of my schedule with school and whatnot, including both for competing and commentating. But in the end, it worked out. But yeah, I have not much to say. Of course, it was very, very fun to commentate, especially with an already experienced commentator in such an unprofessional event. So, good for experience, as always. And I don't have much else to say, really. All around, a very good experience.
Did you have any problems getting the opponents to play you, or did they?
No, not really. I think it was actually the opposite.
So you were the dodger.
Great.
You were dodging the players. Okay.
Mostly because I forgot. Hope that I'll try to not do that again next season if I will compete.
Yeah, next season I can already say we're gonna have the this how should I say, like this skip that you can skip 2 weeks, or you can pass for 2 weeks. 2 matches. So if you are busy in 1 week, you can just say, hey, I want to postpone this. I want to postpone this match to a later point. But you can only postpone 2 matches. And if you don't postpone and the week is over, then, well, either nobody's going to get any points or the player that actually tried to contact the other player is getting a free win. Because that's one of the things I learned was that some people or some players were pretty annoyed with chasing other players, and especially with Guilty Gear, where we had 11 weeks of matches. They were chasing their opponent for maybe 2 months. So it's understandable, right? That at some point you're like, man, this isn't that much fun to chase somebody for 2 months straight to just break him. or her
Yeah,
to
no,
please
definitely.
play your match with me, and then you bop him 7-0 in like 15 minutes or something. So it's one thing that we will actually change for next season. Like we had this system already in season 1, but everything went so smoothly in the beginning that I was like, okay, I don't have to chase the players. I don't have to pay attention to it because they are gonna play at some point. So I just let it. I kind of let it go. But yeah, with this feedback, we will do the postponement system next season. So Leia can't run away anymore. You gotta play at some point.
Good.
Negative penalty,
Yeah.
in a sense.
Exactly.
So
All right.
my experience, like you both had fun playing, you had fun commentating, and for me it was also a very positive experience as a player, commentator, and organizer. Because as a player, I only joined King of Fighters '98, and there were a lot of players I didn't know. Also for the other 2 games, just checking the groups. In the beginning, I was like, "Who are all these people?" Especially for Under Night, I was like, "Who are these guys?" I never heard of any of those. Maybe for like, except for 4 players, something like this. Of course, I know the German players, but all the other players, I never saw them play. And then all of a sudden, for example, we had Celo coming in. He's a German player, but even Leinhardt didn't know him. So he's not. Well, I didn't know him before, and then he just takes it. So it's kind of amazing to see that you have these players that come out of nowhere and they just take it.
Wasn't that the same thing with '98 with Heiko?
With
whom
Heiko,
no one
yeah.
seemed to know.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, for '98, Heiko was people knew him from 02 UM and KOF 13, but not for '98 UM. He only started because of the Challenger League, and then he bopped everyone in like 1 week. We went like even after he played for 2 weeks, so it was pretty scary. So it's like Challenger League attracted some real killers. So it was fun to see that as an organizer, that also a lot of players actually signed up. We had a total of 42 players across all games from 14 different countries in Europe, and that's kind of amazing because nobody knew to be community or Challenger League before, so they didn't know what to expect, and that so many people actually signed up, and we only had a few players dropping out. That's also a great experience for me as an organizer. As a player, I didn't have to chase too much. I think I didn't have to chase at all. I think it was only Prepski where we had to wait for a bit because I think he had he hurt his arm or his hand, so he couldn't play for some time. But it's understandable, right? If somebody is injured, then I'm not like, hey, dude, you gotta play. You just lost your right arm, but you gotta play now, you know.
Whole arm.
Wait, you're injured? We gotta play right now then, so I can secure that 5-0. Yeah, cool. No. But otherwise, as a player, it was fun to play. A lot of new faces. As a commentator, it was also fun to commentate. Especially, Under Night for me is still a very new game. I'm not that experienced with the game because I didn't play too much. So for me, as a commentator, I I have a lot of experience playing fighting games and commentating other games, so it was all right for me. But of course, I couldn't go into details too much. But I felt like, and you and we had a pretty good chemistry. It was fun to commentate.
Yeah, for not knowing much about the game, both of us not knowing much about the game, I think we did a fine job. But I'm still happy that we now have more experienced players commentating on a night in the CommuniCup matches. I'm looking forward to those, commentating a Challenger League, hopefully.
Yeah, so yeah, like you're saying, next season probably Lofty Words and War will be commentating Under Night. Probably also 100, because he decided to switch away from KOF 98 and he wanted to commentate something else because of the SNK news. So he will probably handle the Under Night stream instead of me next season, and I will probably take over for Guilty Gear, because Jaska is gonna be busy next year with university. So yeah, there are gonna be a few changes. But before we go into detail about that, let's quickly talk about the player and the viewer feedback, because that's pretty much what the players thought. So now you heard what we thought, and I'm just gonna summarize real quick, so very briefly. So we had a questionnaire with different questions that the players could rate from very unsatisfied to very satisfied. So it is pretty much 1 to 5. And the first question was, how would you rate your Challenger League Season 1 experience? And there was only one person out of 14 saying unsatisfied. We had four players saying very satisfied, and the others were satisfied. So everyone pretty much liked playing in Challenger League Season 1. How would you rate the format was the next question. And here we had 2 players saying they were unsatisfied. And the other players were pretty much the same split. 5 very satisfied, the others were satisfied. So the format of first to 7 matches every week, and then the top players going into playoffs, was received pretty positively, which is a good thing, because I mean, the most special thing about of the Challenger League is the format. And the next question was, how would you rate the communication during the season? We also had only one player saying they were unsatisfied with the communication. The others were very satisfied and satisfied, which as an organizer I'm very happy about. That people didn't feel like they were kind of abandoned after the league started. But it's like, yeah, league started, please play your matches, I don't care. So it's good for me that people didn't feel left alone. And yeah, so communication, that's a good thing. And yeah, I'm just gonna skip the most negative ones for now. We will talk about those last. And two questions that were they were good. Like the feedback was good, but it was there were some unsatisfied answers. Was, how would you rate the social media presentation, and how would you rate your connection quality during the matches? And well, connection quality, what can you say? Like, it's not up to us. As an organizer, it's not something we can influence. And two out of 3 unsatisfied were from KOF 98, and one was from Undernight, and we had one player from Algeria playing KOF. So the connection wasn't good. It wasn't good with that player, so maybe it was regarding this. And the social media.
I also remember some. Some complaints regarding connection in uni, specifically from players who were in Scandinavia and in Spain, those regions, because specifically those connecting to each other is obviously a huge distance, so that kind of makes some connections really, really hard to play.
Right. Wasn't that Logic and Sevs? Where they were?
Yeah, that might have been it. That was Sweden to Portugal.
Yeah. So distances.
That's rough.
Pretty big, but yeah, sadly, all the games still have delay-based netcode. So it's the bane. It's the bane of the netcode pretty much.
Well, the uni guys are working on it. Fingers crossed for that.
Yeah, I hope.
Fingers crossed for uni season 3 rollback.
I hope so. I hope so that we get rollback for Undernight. I think KOF 98 might get it because they already did it for 2002 UM. That game has now proper rollback netcode, no beta netcode anymore. So it's final now. With Guilty Gear, they are not gonna do anything for Xrd anymore. Let's be honest, they said they're gonna support the game even after Strive launched, but they are not doing anything. So I'm not expecting rollback for Xrd. Let's be honest with that.
Maybe in 10 years, who knows?
You mean when with Plus R, when the game is so old you can run it on a potato PC, so it's easier to just brute force rollback into the game.
Yeah, we get a second coming of Team French Calibers and they just slash fucking rollback into Xrd like it's nothing.
Oh damn. I just...
Leah's...
Leah just...
We lost Leah's cam.
Oh. Anyway, so people can now see Leah is now the feedback. It's now the feedback form.
Great.
Yeah, now you can... Leah became an Excel sheet.
Oh, never mind. There we are again. Oh.
And he's gone again.
And we're gone.
Anyway, so social media presentation was also pretty good. 5 very satisfied. 2 it's even 6 very satisfied. I'm sorry, I forgot to highlight one. So it's actually not that bad. 2 were unsatisfied. So I guess it's the highlights. We are gonna go to the comments in a moment. But in general, this was also pretty good. And now let's talk about the two questions that had the worst feedback, which was, how would you rate our stream production, where we had 3, 4, 5 players out of 14 saying they were unsatisfied or very unsatisfied. And it was Undernight, GG Xrd, Guilty Gear, Undernight. Wait, it's not KOF?
Yeah, I'm surprised as well it's not KOF.
Yeah, it's all Guilty Gear and Undernight. What happened? We had proper... Wait, we didn't have shitty picture quality and sound quality for those? What happened? Maybe... Well, KOF had less players, so... Let's make up an excuse. No, anyway. Stream production? I don't know. I think, yes, there were some things. Maybe before I voice my opinion, what do you guys think? What might have been the issue with the stream production?
Yeah, for me personally, I actually couldn't tell what would be off about those games. We already talked about 90F UMFE having to be streamed over Discord because you can't spectate. But in the other games, the stream overlays and all the imagery and everything, you put a lot of work into those, and I feel like it definitely shows. It's like, wouldn't be able to tell what would be off about that, unless the people answering the questionnaire interpret it as more of a general, together with commentary and things like that, and just how the entire thing went. Like, wouldn't be able to make up something concrete right now.
No. Leah, what do you think?
Honestly, I can't see much wrong with the stream production either, but if I were to make a guess about where all these complaints are coming from, I guess it might be the introductions with all the trailers. Maybe, yeah, I guess the intro trailers weren't up to par for some people. Maybe music synchronization with the scenes, really. That could also be a factor. Maybe because it was it didn't look that professional, as in it was just a bunch of cool moments from our players throughout the season.
Yeah, I agree. Well, with the intros, the stream intros, the thing is, we didn't have any footage that I could use, so I just took what we had from the Corona Cancel Tour streams, and so of course it was not like Challenger League footage, right? And I didn't update them, so it's kind of my fault, yes. But I'm gonna change that. So, like, my plan, for example, with the intros is to have one general intro for next season for all 3 games, which is maybe like 20-30 seconds long, with a non-game related soundtrack. So regular music and
lounge music.
So that's I still have my vacation left for December, so I'm pretty much gonna invest a lot of time of my vacation doing the intro to make it look at least decent, because I'm not a pro with video production. But I think one thing with the streams that I noticed was that a lot of players, a lot of viewers couldn't follow the score, or like they didn't notice the score right away, because we had at the top these bars, which were in Challenger League, they were black outline with the gray background color, and if one player won a match, it would become green. So you had 7 blocks, and if somebody wins 7 matches, then they would all be green, which was, I don't know, for me it was intuitive, or I would say I thought it would be intuitive, but we're gonna change that to numbers next season, because we had people coming into the stream and they were like, "What's the score?" And then we had like 4 green bars against 6 green bars, and I guess that's like you have to count, and people just didn't understand it, or it was too complicated. I thought it would look better than just having a number, so you have like some progress, but I guess it was a bit complicated to understand. So that was one thing. And
reading through the comments that people left, there is one mentioning stream production, and that talks about camera disconnects, volume levels being too high or too low, and ways of streaming. I assume the ways of streaming would be the Discord streams, as well as whenever players couldn't make it, that they'd record the match and that we'd watch the recording in like a media player or something. I guess those are the complaints that people have, but the common also mentions that they're only outlier cases, like minor complaints. So I don't know what other people have in terms of like larger scale complaints or anything more important that I missed.
We also had one comment that said it would be better to have flexible streaming schedules. So it would be like more spontaneous, but it's impossible. That is impossible to do, except if you're like commentating alone, or like if you're a regular streamer. Like if you're commentating or if you're streaming every day anyway, then you can just you can just commentate matches as they are happening. But for us right now, I think the fighting game community, if you can get them to play on one day at a specific time, then that's already a win for you, because it can be very difficult to organize this. And to be honest, as a commentator, you don't want to adjust to the player schedule, right? Because you have 16 players, and then they are giving you a lead time of maybe 5 minutes to get your stream online, and you can't do any promotion, so it's kind of meh.
I guess so the way it worked in season 1 was the players were asked what days of the week they were available to play, and then one day of the week was determined to be the day for the game, and then you made up a schedule for like week 1 is player 1 against player 2 and 3 against 4. Week 2 is player 1 against 3, and this and that. And I suppose what this comment is talking about is that when you designate those weeks, that inside the week you ask the players, okay, what day of the week do you want to play? Which would take a lot more. It would take more effort in terms of organizing, but I guess it would be. Well, yeah, you're not making up. You're not designating, okay, Tuesday in 5 weeks you're gonna play, but you're gonna go, I don't know, on the weekend before the week. You go, okay, what day of this week do you have time? I guess it's a little more liberating for players, but it's also harder to organize, and also harder to advertise in terms of presence when you can actually say, okay, we're going live in half an hour, no one's going to tune in.
Yeah, exactly.
And things like that.
Yeah, that's the problem. If people are if they know it's always Tuesday at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., then they at some point they know. At some point they know, okay, every Tuesday it's under night at that time on that channel. But spontaneous streams, I don't think it would be very successful. And we also had one comment saying that there were some cases where we had to end or restart the stream and the players had to wait. Even though they had no issues, which I don't know which case it is. Probably KOF 98, where we had some connection issues I know of. But yeah, otherwise, choppy streams, which is also KOF 98. So pretty much, I don't know. It's like reading the comments about the production. It's always KOF 98, but the unsatisfied replies were from people not playing KF 98. But yeah, I guess it was regarding the commentary. I mean, we also had this was the second question. How would you rate the stream commentary? And I know that there were complaints that, for example, Ant and I didn't know the top tier, like the top player knowledge of Undernight. So it was very basic commentary, right? So
neither of us were our players. We were kind of both fill-ins, I suppose.
And
the only other player who volunteered to commentate was Searcher, and he later noticed that he didn't have time to commentate on a schedule. So
yeah,
it was kind of us two who had to fill in.
Yeah, I mean, like one criticism was that we called something an overhead, which was not an overhead. It's okay.
Things wrong,
you know,
yeah.
I guess it also depends on who is watching, because if you are an experienced player of that game and you know the game, right? What every character does and so on, then you want to hear different commentary than somebody that is not watching that game at all or doesn't know the game at all, and they watch the stream. Because to be honest, for me, I like emotional commentary. Like, I like to hear commentators that kind of make you feel that there's something on the line, and not just, hey, this attack is now -2 and the other player, he should have light punched and now he's +1 on block or whatever. It's like, dude, you can't just crunch the numbers all the time. It's very boring. Yeah, of course. Then you know who has the advantage and who is at disadvantage. But it's very boring to watch, right? If you just have somebody saying, like, telling you, throw tech is -8 in Undernight, and
we did say that a lot.
You know the frames. I don't know. I don't know them. So, but I felt it was better to just go with the pace of the match instead of over-analyzing everything, because fighting games are so fast. You can't commentate on everything, or you can't analyze everything, which you would do after the match, pretty much. After the match is done, then you would probably have a look and say, hey, this happened and this situation, and he could have done that, or this was good. This is he did something well at that point, which is, I guess, also one thing I have to work on myself is not being negative. Like, not you should be like yes, and I was like, no, it's okay. You're killing it. You're killing it, right? You're killing the hype by just saying, hey, somebody did something wrong, instead of saying the other player did something right. So yeah,
I'll be the first to admit I always call out dropped combos whenever I see anything. I just always call out, oh, that was a drop confirm, oh, that was a drop come, I should probably stop that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's very difficult to stop it, especially the two of us, because we have the German blood. You know, Germans can't stop criticizing. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I heard stories from other people working, like one German lady working in the US, and they were telling her, like, oh, your presentation was perfect, it was really great, and she was like, I know there were some small flaws in the presentation, and you're not pointing it out. I'm really pissed that you're not pointing it out. So that's how Germans work. But yeah. Leah, did you watch any commentary of Challenger League? Maybe Undernight?
To be honest, I haven't watched much Under Night Challenger League at all. Really, I needed to though. But yeah, I could tell there was a bit of lack of information on both commentators' parts. But in season 2 we have much more knowledgeable commentators, so that'll be fixed. But still, considering how much you two know about the game, I would say you did a good job.
Thank you. I guess with 100 picking it up now, I don't have to commentate Under Night. Of course, I'm up to it. If somebody drops out, if I have to commentate, because I'm the organizer, then of course I have to step in. I have to commentate. But with Voa and Lofty knowing the game, having written some guides, I hope that they do a better job for the experienced players. I also one thing that people were or some viewers were complaining about was that we did not rotate commentators, because for example Under Night it was pretty much always Ant and I, and then for Guilty Gear it was Jaska and Leia, and
I
KOF
filled
98
in
was
1 or 2 weeks for Guilty Gear, but yeah.
and then 100 and
Most of them.
Dracula. So some were like, hey, it's kind of like, do we always have to see the same commentators every week?
I guess that's also partially because of lacking commentary. So people are like, okay, here are these guys. Where are the main commentators for this game?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, commentators, they don't grow outside on the fields. Like, you can't just pick your commentators somewhere. Like, you go to the marketplace and you're like, hey, I need some free commentators. Where do I get free commentators? Hey, you want to commentate Under Night? They're like, yeah, sure, I'm a professional Under Night commentator. I was just waiting here for you.
We go picking the Under Night players from the sewers.
It doesn't happen, right? It doesn't happen. So, I mean, you can't force people to commentate. And so, I have to say, it was, at least for season 1, the thing is that you even find people that are willing to commentate a completely new format, like a completely new league. And we had 6 different commentators.
We had 7 Starbreak actually filled in for me once.
Yeah, right.
Shout out to
Starbreak,
him.
yeah. We commentated once. But yeah, outside of that, it's that you even find commentators for it, and it's not one guy sitting there and he's commentating all 3 games, which in this case would have been me, with me not knowing 2 out of the 3 games too well. So I think commentator wise, like the variation, it was decent. Of course, we are gonna try to rotate a bit for season 2, but it always depends on the schedule of the commentators, right? If they are available in that during that week or not. So now that we talked about the negative stuff, just a quick summary what people liked. They liked the atmosphere during the streams. They liked the format. They liked how everything worked out, like the organization.
That part was kind of a mix. We had a couple of people complaining that they couldn't find matches, and then other people saying, "Yeah, it was great. I could always find my matches."
Yeah.
So I guess it's a person-to-person thing. You know, who you're supposed to play and what their schedule is.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of a 50-50 thing.
Somebody also mentioned the special intros for the finals, because we did some special intros for the playoffs.
I found they were great. I loved them.
Luckily I practiced a bit after the first intro. Luckily I adjusted the voice a bit. I wonder who did the voice. I'm not sure. I don't know that guy.
The ominous shadow figure.
Yeah, but in general, hype matches, hype commentators, hype sponsoring. That's nice to hear.
The sponsoring, by the way, we were sponsored by SNK.
Yeah, SNK and Carter Games.
It was nice.
Yeah. And we also had a pretty big prize pool of, oh boy, what was it? Around 240 euro?
Good.
Think so.
So,
Shout out to
yeah,
everyone
that's,
remember that we
donating,
had, like,
actually.
what do you say?
110 euros.
What was that, Sinjo?
What did you say? I couldn't hear you because you were both talking at the same time. Sorry.
I just wanted to shout out the people who were donating, because that helps a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
True.
Kind of pushing the popularity as well.
Huge props to you all if
there.
you're watching.
Yeah, thank you so much, because without the support of the people watching, the people playing the tournaments, it wouldn't be as hype, right? If people don't support it, if there's no prize money, no prizes, no nothing, then yeah, of course you can you can try to hype it up, but there's like nothing on the line except your honor. So yeah, thank you so much for everyone that donated for season 1, and I hope for season 2 we will be able to increase the prize pool again. That would be great. So we have to beat 240 euro for season 2. Any other feedback? Not much. Just people telling us keep up the good work. Looking forward to season 3, 4, and 5. So, and yeah, cut the length of Guilty Gear. That's pretty much the feedback. And I agree. That's one thing that we're gonna do.
One person suggested we do pools of 8 people max.
Yeah, we're gonna do that as well. It's gonna be only 8 players per group, and now we hopefully will be able to do the divisions. So we have all the good players in one group all the good players from season 1 in one group, and then the new players are in the second division. And then you have this promotion demotion thing, so it's more a league. But we still have to see. For example, with Undernight, a lot of players dropped out at the moment from that were top 8 in season 1. So we might have to well, if we get 60 players, then we are gonna split it. If it's less, like if it's 40 players, we would have one group with 8 players, and the other one would be 6 players, like the new players or players that are not that strong. And we would probably give the spots in Division 1 to players like Mosin and Kim Precision, who won the CommuniCasts. So they kind of qualified for Division 1 through that. Because if all the players drop out that qualified for Division 1, then you kind of have to fill up the spots, right? And some players said like, I'm not good enough. I'm just gonna get stomped again. So maybe they're more like they're happier playing in Division 2 than getting stomped again by 7 other players 7 times in a row. I don't know. So that's one thing. So that was the feedback from the players. From the viewers, I can pretty much just sum it up. We only got, sadly, two questionnaire answers, and they were mostly positive. So I'm very happy about that. Just a quick number thing. I I was very happy that the Guilty Gear Grand Finals got more than 1,000 views on Twitch, and actually had the highest number of viewers as well, with 76. So that's nice. So the viewership was pretty good, which it gives me motivation for season 2. I'm already working at the new on the new graphics for season 2, and I hope the stream production and the social media presentation will be even better in season 2. Yeah.
Quick thing, I personally really like the social media presence with all the highlight videos you upload, and it feels like you're putting in a lot of effort for it, and it really shows.
Agreed.
Just a quick question from my side. I only put the kind of the announcement graphic in front, so it was not like highlights or something written on it when I posted them on Twitter. Do you think it would be better to say like this is a short highlight reel, like through like the preview?
I mean, I guess you could do that for, like, you're talking about the graphic that kind of fades away into the highlight video.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess you could do that, but the tweet already stated that it's a compilation of highlights, so I don't think it'd be necessary. But if it's if it's very little work, you could do it.
Yeah. So, anything else where you would say, hey, you could improve this? Because I know you had fun casting, you had fun playing, but maybe you have some spontaneous ideas what could be better. I'm trying to, for example, reach out to different platforms, because the fighting game community is very focused on Twitter, but I think there are probably also people that like fighting games, but they don't have a Twitter account, or they don't use the platform too frequently. So I don't know. Do you have any ideas what could be better?
I suppose you could try building up a presence in the game-specific communities, like on a Guilty Gear Discord or Uni Discord, things like that. And I don't know how many people that aren't in these Discord and Twitter communities roam around Reddit, but I do know that the fighting game Reddit is really, really big.
Yeah, I actually posted on Reddit just today about season 2, but I feel like usually there's not too much feedback. Maybe I have to put some meme picture to bait people into clicking on it.
I don't know how Reddit people work. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I checked for Exert, Undernight, and KOF, but like for example for KOF, the Reddit is very inactive. It was like the last post was 9 months ago or something, and with Guilty Gear and Undernight, yeah, I just don't know if people notice tournament announcements, but I hope that they will notice it and we get some new faces joining. And yeah, I don't know. Did you learn anything from your streams? Where you say, hey, we learned this from our stream, and maybe for Challenger League you should do this as well.
My part at least, definitely brush up on my commentary skills. If I do ever get the cast again.
You definitely will.
Oh, right. I forgot I signed up for Xrd. But yeah, I definitely need to do that. I need to get more knowledge about the game, really.
Things we learn from our own streams to get into Challenger League. I don't know if we have anything, because most of the things that we kind of learn and that we notice are really important are regarding stream schedule and kind of managing the bracket, which Challenger League doesn't do, because it's it's a weekly 2 games, whereas the most work from our tournaments goes into actually managing the bracket and telling people that when they're gonna play, where they go, what they do, and what not to do, and things like that.
That's true. It's very different from a regular tournament where you always have time constraints, where you have to finish in 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that. But yeah, I think right now pretty much my focus is to make everything look a bit prettier. Because if you look at the current layout of the CommuniCast, it could be prettier, it could be a bit more special. So
I think it looks nice.
It's minimalistic, and I like it.
Oh, boys, you don't have to be nice just because you're.
No, I like it.
You don't have to be all nice just because you're talking to me. But yeah, it's like one thing I kind of learned throughout Challenger League is how to create a bit more prettier graphics, because I think that's kind of one thing that still makes other streams, how would you say, like people remember them, because you don't want to be the stream that's remembered for being ass quality, right? It's like that guy, he made an overlay in Paint. It's like no, I don't want to be that guy, and I'm gonna improve on that. And now we also have the standby. The standby picture with the countdown prepared. So like I'm looking into improving the stream in general, because it's an online league, so the stream is pretty much what's representing you. And otherwise, I really don't know either what you could improve. Because the games, you never know how they end, if it's gonna be a hype game or not. And to be honest, as soon as we entered the games, like when people were playing, the overlay is very, very minimalistic, right? You just have the player names and maybe like week 1 or week 6, and then some logos, like the Challenger League logo, SNK logo, Carter Games logo, which we showed last season. And then like what else can you show? You can, of course, you can have some intros for each match, but I would have to see if I can find the time to create intros every single week. Maybe I can prepare some small videos, which I can just kind of drag and drop.
I guess the only thing you could do for in-game would be fancier transitions.
Right.
And instead of fitting one into the other, you'd have some kind of weird effect that's over the top and way too much work to do.
That's true.
Those always look fancy, because I feel like you shouldn't clutter the screen while in the game. So just an overlay that shows maybe the sponsor is cycling through, and then name of the series and the points, the scoreboard. That should be all that there is in order to not take up space on the screen.
No.
So I did see one interesting thing on Twitter the other day. I mean, not the other day, it was a while ago, which was an overlay that kind of someone wrote a program that reads who has Vorpal, and then it has a kind of a blue or red flare on the side,
Yeah,
depending on who has it right now. That looked really interesting.
Oh.
But apart from those super fancy things, I don't think there's anything you could really do to update the graphic in game. Yeah, quick thing I want to point out is my game, my Under Night did not go well with with the stream and everything. So my game frequently lagged behind, and I was kind of commentating in the past. So I feel like that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, we
needs to be pointed out.
We now for the last CommuniCast, I just shared my game screen with Voa and Lofty. So through Discord, and that has pretty much no lag, so they always know what is currently visible on stream. Because it seems like Under Night, because of different loading times on different PCs, somebody is always a bit behind. So that's one way to fix it. And
I mean, I haven't tried it yet, but I did manage to find what I think is the culprit, because that also caused frame drops in Guilty Gear when streaming, and just frame drops in video games when streaming on Discord, which is Razer Cortex, a little software thing that's supposed to kind of boost your PC and optimize performance for games. And what that ended up doing was, as soon as anything else required performance, like streaming on Discord, just streaming the image, or streaming my camera on Discord to you, or tabbing out and doing anything, the game completely went to shit. It was unplayable. And just playing the games in windowed mode was unplayable. And things like that were just horrible. So now that I got rid of that, I can stream Guilty Gear Xrd without frame drops. I think I should be fine for not needing a second device to stream my webcam over, so I can run Uni on a different one. So yeah, I should be okay with that, and I should no longer be forced to commentate things that have already happened 10 seconds ago.
Okay, yeah, that's good to hear.
Yeah, finally.
For Guilty Gear, Leah, you both were you were both in the game, right? You were just commentating on the game, not like sharing screens.
Yes, I never had to commentate using the stream. For me, it was perfectly fine. I only had to join the lobby in the game, and I was ready to go.
Okay, yeah, that's good to hear that there were few issues with that. For KOF, let's not talk about KOF, because how can you commentate on KOF if this stream is lagging all the time? Like, you just have to look at the third place match, which I think I streamed directly, or I don't know. I think I streamed it to someone, and the quality was great. Or I even streamed it myself. I'm not 100% sure. So the quality was great, and then you had the grand finals, and it was just like stuttering, and the sound was like you have this, these can telephones with a small wire connected to, like, between the cans, and then you hold it to your ear. It sounded like this. So,
oh no,
grand finals. It's so sad. It was just very sad. I have to tell you. But we're gonna make it better for season 2. We're gonna make it better for season 2. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. I see. Wait. Let me just quickly check who's in chat. Danix just wrote, so we got Danix. And I saw Huggy. Huggy also wrote something.
I do not know them either of them.
They're both Germans. So now the German crew. I'm not sure. Danix, Huggy, do you have any questions? Because we planned a Q&A, so you have the possibility to ask us some stupid questions. If we don't have any good questions, then we're gonna cut the stream. Then we are done for today. And maybe in the meantime, I'm just gonna check real quick what we talked about.
Yeah, I think we ticked every box.
Yeah,
we just had the Q&A to do.
I'm just quickly checking if there's anything I forgot. Because I feel like Challenger League Season 1 went pretty well. Season 2 promotion has been a bit slow recently because I had a lot. Like, my motivation was down for a week, but now it's back up. We still have until Christmas. So if anyone is watching or listening to the podcast later, you still have time until Christmas 2020. So the 24th of December to sign up.
24th of December, huh? And that's when it started, or that's just when sign up close?
Yeah. Santa says, nope, you don't get in here.
It doesn't start until January 2021, does it?
Right.
Yeah, right. The second week of January we're gonna start. Okay, I just found some things that I can still say what we're gonna improve. So in the beginning of Season 1 we made some breaks between the first and second match. We gave up. We gave up on that, and we are not gonna bring them back.
I mentioned we had one game scheduled for 7 p.m. and then the next one for 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And because some sets only took 10 minutes to 20 minutes, we just kind of went with skipping those.
Yeah, they were too fast!
Especially because the players themselves went, okay, we're here, we're waiting, we don't need to wait for another half hour to play. We can play right now, it's not a problem.
To be honest, I have to say, with first to 7, I thought it would take at least 30 minutes. If it's a 7-0, I was like, okay, one match could be like 3 minutes, and then 7, well, okay, it's 21 minutes, but like 50 minutes? Come on, it's a first to 7. Dude, let the other player at least play. But no. Also, prepare a bot, yes. That is a good point. I have to prepare that. Because a lot of people were posting exclamation bracket and then nothing happened.
Yeah, you should. I recommend Nightbot for that, actually. Very, very intuitive to set up custom commands and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm gonna put, I think, what was it? Phantom bot. I'm gonna put it on a Uber space. So you pretty much install the bot yourself on the server, and I'm one of the guys that hates to share data. So it's a good thing if I can install the bot myself on my own server. What do we have here? So it would be also show the brackets or the standings. Right. We did it sometimes, but not all the time.
Yeah, we should do that more often.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And also tweeting in time. Yeah, I have to I'm gonna prepare a calendar when I have to tweet, when I'm gonna tweet what. And yeah, also just one thing we are also gonna change is the playoff system. It's not gonna be first against fourth place, but like the first place will be seeded into grand finals, and then so second place will be in the semifinals, and third and fourth place will be fighting in the first round. So third and fourth place play against each other. The winner plays against the second place, and the winner of that match plays against first place. So we have a question from Danix in the chat. You mentioned the prize pool of the last league. Was this actually the record for all CommuniCup? For challenge, yeah, it was the biggest prize pool we ever had, because the CommuniCups usually always only had Steam keys that I donated. And how many people are actually involved in general organization for future CommuniCast? And would be more better if it's not multiple? What? Is it CommuniCast or Challenger League? I'm not 100% sure what you're trying to say, Danix. But general organization, CommuniCup. CommuniCup is pretty much always me organizing it. Challenger League, last season it was also pretty much only myself. So the commentators picked the matches and I did all the communication. So for example, for Guilty Gear, Jaska picked the matches and I whipped the players to being on time on this day. Which I'm gonna do again. Because fighting game players, they need to be whipped. Else they are not gonna be on time. Right? So yeah, last time I did the graphics, I did the videos. And next season it will be probably a few more people. I hope. If anyone wants to help, raise your hand and I will gladly accept you into my arms. Give you your to-do list. Here, go back to the supermarket. I need milk, eggs, flour, and some sugar. I want to make some pancakes. Yeah, but to be honest, if anyone wants to help, then yeah, just get in touch with me. Then I guess no other questions. I did a pre-hype, don't know. Okay, Danix is just raising his hand in chat. Oh, we found someone. We got him, and we got him.
Absorb into 2BCU.
So okay, Danix is gonna do the hype trailers now. That's good.
Great.
So yeah, I think let's wrap it up. Like I feel season 1 went really well. It was fun also working with the both of you. It was very fun commentating with you. I didn't commentate with Leia, right? We didn't commentate together.
No, we didn't, unfortunately.
But yeah, maybe next season, because I'm gonna do Guilty Gear. I'm gonna handle Guilty Gear. You're gonna cast Guilty Gear. So yeah, I'm looking forward to working with you.
Oh yeah, the feeling is mutual. Question though, isn't gonna Koji also cast Guilty Gear, or did he have to pull out?
No, he's gonna cast. So at the moment, Koji is planned for casting, but I probably have to handle the production for Guilty Gear. So I'm probably gonna be the guy that does all the OBS scene switching and so on, at least. But yeah, let's see. It's still up to be decided, let's say. But yeah, then any final comments from the both of you? Anything you wanna say? Anything you wanna shout out? I know you got the Dawn of Revival tournament, so feel free to shill those. Who wants to go first?
Well, we haven't officially announced them, but to anyone who's watching, we're actually changing Dawn of Revival schedule from bi-weekly to monthly, because now we support 2 games, both Rift 2 and Plus are now with the GGPO update. So, and we already have tournaments planned for both of them. So be on the lookout for that. Or can I post links in chat?
Yeah, sure. I guess it would be better to
Points.
post them on the Discord server as well.
I see. But if you are interested in Dawn of Revival, then you do have the link to the Discord with every single bit of information for basically everything you need to know, really, about the community and the tournaments. And yeah, that's about it. So I look forward to hearing more from us.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add aside from join 2BCU, join the Challenger League. What are you doing?
True. You literally have the link in the description. Scroll down; it's in the middle.
Yeah, there's a button. Yeah, there's a button that brings you
Yeah, you
directly
literally
to
see
the challenge.
Season 2
website.
registration open in big red letters. You should click on that.
Yeah, you should definitely
Alright.
click on it. You should share it with your friends. If you know anyone that plays a Guilty Gear Xrd, Under Night, or KOF 98, then let them know. I hope we get a lot of new faces playing in Season 2. Of course, I also hope the old faces are returning, and they want to protect their seat in Division 1 and play for the money and for the prizes. And yeah, for my final comment is pretty much I'm gonna do my best to up the atmosphere. I'm gonna do my best to show like the professionality that we want to establish with To Be community, and yeah, I hope I'm positive that Challenger League will be one of the staple online leagues in Europe for Guilty Gear, Under Night, and KOF. Also in 2021 and after. So yeah, I guess for example for Strife we have to see how the game when the game comes out, how it's gonna play.
And if people actually like it.
Huh?
And if there's actually going to be a community around it, that even BB Tag as the community nowadays, it's more than possible.
Yeah, I'm sure the game will have a player base, pretty healthy one at that, at least for the first 2 months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to the new games that are gonna be released. I guess Under Night won't get any big updates, like not a new version. KOF,
Yeah.
Let's see, maybe at some point we can replace it with 15 if it gets released sometime, maybe next year.
Road to UN.
Yeah, but it still has no lobbies, so like it doesn't fix the problem.
I guess.
Right.
But
come on, Comic-Sticks.
With Guilty Gear, let's see how Strife is going to play out. If a lot of players are going to play it, if Xrd players are going to switch to Strife, because I mean, if all the Xrd players switch from Xrd to Strife, then you kind of don't need to offer a league where it's just 4 people joining, right? I'm 100% sure it's gonna be more than 4 players, so we are gonna keep it rolling. But yeah, just saying. So we are also thinking about the future, and I hope you keep supporting Challenger League and To Be community. I want to offer everyone a great experience, the players, the viewers, and yeah. So far, it has been a great time. Season 1 was a big success. To Be community is doing well, and I hope you continue supporting us. And of course, the final chill. Please follow us on Twitch and on Twitter, so you get all the updates. And the VODs are on our YouTube channel. You have the buttons below the stream, and yeah. Then thank you very much everyone for tuning in to the stream, And thank you for joining me, Leah, and it was great hearing your insights, and I'm very happy that you had so positive feedback for me. And I can't wait to see the both of you in season 2 in January. Oh, yeah. And until then, we will just spread the word and see that more people join. So that is it for CommuniCast number 21 about Challenger League Season 1 and Season 2. And see you next week, Sunday, about 10 years of Virtual Dojo Vienna, which will be in German again. So they have a 10th anniversary of the local fighting game meeting spot in Vienna, Austria. And I'm going to talk to Chargy and King Rasta about it. They are going to tell us everything about the history, their start in 2010 until today. So if you're interested in hearing about this very... it was a trendsetter. It was a trendsetter meeting location in the German-speaking area. Then tune in next week. And until then, I wish you a very nice Sunday. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Around.
See ya.